Hello and welcome, James Mann back with a reminder that planet Earth is 71% water. And remember, water at rest will always be level. I don't know about you, but doesn't that sentence seem to contradict itself? How can you have a spherical planet with level oceans? Planet Earth is supposed to have a 3,959-mile radius, making it easy to predict and measure curvature. Yet since 2018 I have been measuring distances looking for that elusive Earth curvature. I have made well over 1,000 observations since then, and in all that time I have never found an inch of measurable Earth curvature. I have made these observations from 127 feet above sea level right down to putting my camera on the sand at sea level, and never an inch of curvature. We were taught gravity pulls things to the center of mass, and this means water has to bend to conform to the laws of gravity, which means we should see things disappear over curvature due to gravity. Perspective, and angular size change over distance makes things appear to get smaller and smaller until they are no longer resolvable. Boats do not disappear due to Earth curvature, they disappear due to perspective, and angular size change over distance. Islands do not disappear because of Earth curvature, they disappear due to angular size change over distance, until they are no longer resolvable without some kind of zoom. Water is always level when at rest, whether it's in a puddle, a pond, a lake, and even our vast oceans, showing us that Earth does not have measurable curvature to match Earth's 3,959-mile radius. I love watching our local fishing boats as they leave the harbor for the day. I can watch these fishing boats leave the harbor and watch them disappear into the horizon, and most people just assume it is being blocked by Earth's curvature, yet I can grab my camera and bring them right back into view. Notice the guy we can see on this fishing boat. He is about 6 feet tall, which shows these boats are not very big or high. Our local fishing boats range between 12 and 16 feet tall, with at least 3 feet of their height being under the water. When I arrive at Fundy Bay, I like to zoom to the furthest land I can see and then scan the horizon for our fishing boats. If I spot any of the fishing boats, I bring the zoom back to see how long they remain visible. What we see above the red line is the real fishing boat, below the line is a mirror image of the fishing boat, it's called refraction. As I bring that fishing boat closer, using my zoom camera, we can even see the small 2-foot buoys on the water. And as I zoom closer, we are able to see more and more details. Note that this fishing boat is not on the horizon. There is plenty of water beyond the boat, about 30 miles of water, before reaching the Nova Scotia coastline. We can definitely tell that this cannot be curvature hiding these fishing boats, it's just apparent angular size change over distance. Like when you watch someone walking away from you, they immediately look like they are shrinking. That is how perspective and angular size change over distance works. The further something is from our eyes, the smaller it will appear to be. You do understand these targets are not actually shrinking, right? This is Dennis Beach, where the parking at the top is 80 feet above sea level. From there I have a great view looking across Fundy Bay, and on days it's not frozen I can walk down the gravel hill and out to sea level behind me. And this is what I get to see when I zoom across Fundy Bay. That island is Isle, 1.5 miles long, 328 feet high in the center, and 28 miles away from my camera. The amount of moisture in the air, or lack of it, determines the visibility and whether I can see the entire island or just fog. On clear days I can see to the mainland another 14 miles further. With my camera at 84 feet above sea level, looking 28 miles to the 328-foot-high Isle, there should be 187 feet of Earth curvature where I placed a red line. Note, everything below that red line, including mainland Nova Scotia, more than 40 miles away, should be blocked by that 187 feet of Earth curvature. The thing is, it isn't blocking anything below that red line, which shows us that Earth curvature calculators do not match what we measure in reality. I zoomed in on the end of the island so you can see the mainland a bit better. Note that the mainland didn't stop there, it was visible much further to the right. Also, mainland Nova Scotia moves further away from New Brunswick the further we look to the right, and that demands more and more Earth curvature the further we look. In this image we can see about 20 miles of Nova Scotia's coastline. Looking straight past the right end of Isle is Port George, 46 miles from my camera, which is at 84 feet above sea level. The predicted Earth curvature, based on Earth having a 3,959-mile radius, is 806 feet, and that's just to the shoreline less than 100 feet above sea level. This shows there is almost 800 feet of missing Earth curvature. And that means I have to look further inland to find 800 feet. I did find 800 feet, however, it is 51 miles away, calling for 1,055 feet of predicted Earth curvature, and there is no land even 1,000 feet high on this line of sight. And that's a major issue for the globe model. Nova Scotia's coastline moves further away from New Brunswick the further we look to the right, and that means there is even more predicted Earth curvature. Yet we can still see miles down the coast, which is impossible on the globe model. This was just a short video showing boats do not disappear due to Earth curvature. It also shows there is zero measurable curvature to Isle, Nova Scotia, 28 miles from Dennis Beach. I also showed there is zero measurable curvature to the Nova Scotia mainland 46 miles away to Port George, Nova Scotia. I also showed that we can see more than 20 miles down the Nova Scotia coastline 63 miles from my camera, where there should be 1,800 feet of Earth curvature, just to the shoreline, and note that there is no land even 1,000 feet high, again proving we've been lied to about the true shape of Earth. Think about this next statement. If you believe wholeheartedly that Earth is a spherical planet with a 3,959-mile radius, yet you refuse to take the time to prove it for yourself, and resort to using other people's words as your proofs, it shows you are a faith believer. So which are you, a researcher who has proven Earth is a spherical planet, or a faith believer in a model you have yet to prove on your own? Please explain to me why these alleged photos of Earth from space have these artifacts around the edges. I have taken thousands of photos of the moon and never see this happening. It looks to me like Earth was pieced together from strips of data collected by high-altitude planes and balloon satellites. My main question about this is, why would they have to do this if they have satellites in space? The same thing happens with alleged photos of Earth from the moon. As children we were taught outer space is an infinite ever-expanding vacuum. So there is nothing that would cause these distortions, yet there they are. Can you explain why there are artifacts around the Earth in these photos? This screams deception by NASA. Something else most people don't know is that NASA in Hebrew means to deceive or to beguile. Strange they would use that acronym knowing what it means. Write their full name, the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, now reverse the alphabet, and place the numbers under each letter. The letter A would be 26, the letter B would be 25, and the letter Z would be 1. Now add those numbers and you get 666, the sign of the beast. What a coincidence, right? Start doing your own research and stop believing the narrative. It was designed to hide our true creator, and the fact that Earth is actually a level plane, not a ball. If you are visiting flat Earth groups, pages and channels, only to use other people's words as your truth, it shows you as gullible, lazy and even dishonest. Now the dishonest part comes into play when you refuse to prove your model on your own.